Workplace Dynamics is a leading provider of technology-based employee engagement tools that help leaders to unlock potential, inspire performance, and achieve amazing results within their organizations. The research partner behind the Top Workplaces program, Workplace Dynamics has surveyed more than 40,000 organizations, representing well over 14 million employees in the United States. With us today are two Top Workplaces experts, Amber Harley and Chris Quinlan. They'll talk about the benefits of the program and provide an overview of the Top Workplaces process. Welcome, and let me hand the presentation to you, Amber.
Thanks, Laura. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Chris and I are really excited to host today's webcast. Here at Workplace Dynamics, I work closely with first-time organizations that are new to the Top Workplaces program.
And I'm Chris Quinlan. I work with organizations who have participated in the Top Workplaces program multiple times, and also others that use our employee engagement platform.
So today we'll talk about how the Top Workplaces can help you, improve your recruiting efforts and attract new business to help you stand out from your competition. You'll also learn how Top Workplaces organizations are identified, what the workplace survey measures, the Top Workplace process and timeline, and also how to enroll in the Top Workplaces program. So Chris is going to kick us off with a brief background about how and why the Top Workplaces program got started.
Thank you, Amber. So as you all are probably familiar with the headlines, employee engagement is stalled around 33% in the United States. And that's leading to more than $500 billion in lost productivity, which that's a really big number. And not surprisingly, employee engagement shows up as one of the top 5 challenges executive teams want to address. But not all organizations struggle with this. In fact, there are some standouts. There are organizations with employee engagement rates more than double the U.S. average. And there are also organizations with higher than average retention rates and low employee turnover. Also, according to our research, there are organizations that outperform others by about 30%. If you would like to see how the Top Workplaces Fund outperforms the Russell 2500, head on over to topworkplaces.com and get your report there. With wanting to discover more about these standout organizations, Workplace Dynamics came up with what we call the big idea. What if you could double the number of engaged employees at your organization and at the same time return 30% more to your shareholders than your competition? The standout organizations that we've studied do exactly that, and we call them Top Workplaces. At Workplace Dynamics, we're on a mission to find, recognize, and celebrate those organizations, to pinpoint what they're doing right, and to use the latest technology to replicate their success in other organizations. We believe it's a major opportunity to improve employee engagement, retention, and performance, and ultimately to make the world a better place to work together. After all, that's how the Top Workplaces program got started. Speaking of getting started, we kicked everything off just about 10 years ago in 2006 with our first program in Delaware. Now a decade later, we partner with 46 media partners across the United States, including, but not limited to, the Dallas Morning News, the Washington Post, the Boston Globe, the Houston Chronicle, the Chicago Tribune, and many others. Let's talk about what a Top Workplaces Award can do for your organization. Take it over, Amber.
Thanks, Chris. So what can the award do for you? Well, of course, it is great press, but in addition to that, new research shows that there are other benefits too, such as strengthening your employer brand. Recognition programs such as Top Workplaces provide third-party validation of your organization's culture, and it gives your employees the opportunity to give anonymous feedback. Plus, it's a powerful stamp of approval. The Top Workplaces Award can also help you with your recruiting efforts and attract top talent. The same study actually shows it can improve the quality of your applicant pool. And regional recognition is especially important here because you're competing for the same talent as your competitors. Top Workplaces are talent magnets. The award can really help your organization stand out. And research suggests that it helps top talent focus their time and energy on firms more likely to be an appropriate fit. In fact, we've had job seekers contact us for regional lists because they want to work for a top workplace winner. It has actually happened to me before. Not too long ago, I had to send a little bit of information out to an employee looking for a job. I had this happen to me so many times, and I sent the list right along. But becoming a top workplace isn't as easy as winning votes or buying an award. It starts with organizational health. And how do we identify these organizations that surpass these thresholds? That's where Top Workplace Survey come in, and Chris is going to take it from there.
All right, so jumping into the survey here, as Ember mentioned, your organization has to earn the award. It's based solely on the employee feedback that we capture through our workplace survey. And every organization that does participate in the Top Workplaces program is administered the same exact survey. It's completely anonymous, and it takes about 5 minutes to complete. And I can actually vouch for that. We take our survey internally twice a year. I actually just took it yesterday. It is under 5 minutes. You're not taking too much time out of your employee's day by asking them to take it. And it consists of 24 statements, all of which have been tested and retested. In fact, one of the questions that we've recently added to our survey began its testing in 2008, and we just officially added it to our lineup this year. So we definitely do our homework. The survey also includes some of the most, if not the most, robust industry benchmarking data available, as recent as the last 12 months. Another thing that makes the survey so powerful is that it's a smart survey. And I know that's not something that you hear every day, so I'd be happy to explain what it means. So your employees are offered these 24 statements, and they are all based on a Likert scale from a range, of 0 being I strongly disagree, and 6 being I strongly agree. Over the years, we have found that an average response is in the 3 to 4 range. So we'll actually create 3 open-ended questions which are optional for your employees to answer at the end of the survey, and base them around these topics from the previous 24 that they may have answered a 0 or a 6 on. It really allows your employees to give you meaningful feedback about topics that they feel most passionate about. And one thing our clients really love is the ability to use the workplace survey as their annual survey. It's great to be named as a top workplace, but also, they can take the information coming out of that survey and create initiatives moving forward for the year for employee engagement. Basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So lots of options moving forward with this survey. And next we're going to talk about what the survey measures specifically and how top workplaces are identified through the data. So the survey includes 3 topics. The first one is what we call the basics. These are areas that potential employees discover during the hiring process, including pay, benefits, and training. The second bucket is organizational health, or what we call internally org health. And org health is at the heart of the Workplace Dynamics survey. It makes up a majority of the survey, and there are 15 statements within org health, which we group into 4 factors. They are alignment, effectiveness, connection, and my manager. Org health is extremely important, and one thing that we've seen is a positive correlation between organizational health and employee engagement. So putting your efforts here is what will help your organization move the needle on employee engagement and ultimately better financial performance. And our final topic, as we've been hitting on all along, is engagement. Engagement is made up of 3 things we have found internally here: retention, motivation, and referral. So basically we're asking, do your employees plan to stay? Are they motivated to give their best work? And also, would they recommend working at your organization to others? So that's the survey in a nutshell. I've had clients tell me it's short, sweet, and to the point, and I couldn't agree with them more. And if you're interested in a closer look at the inner workings of our survey, shoot me a note on the chat tab, and I'll definitely get you in contact with someone on my team who can get the right information into your hands afterwards. Now, on to the Top Workplaces process. Amber's going to talk about what you can expect after you decide that, you know what, the Top Workplaces program is for me.
And it is for you. Thanks, Chris. But getting started is super easy. All organizations can participate, not just businesses. So yes, you can be a nonprofit, you can be in education, you can be a part of the government, you can be in the healthcare system.
Basically, if you have employees, you can participate. That is the only requirement.
So employees can nominate your organization at any time. It is important to note Top Workplaces isn't based on the number of nominations we've received. It's not a voting process. Whether you have one nomination or 100, it doesn't matter. We treat them equally the same. If an employee nominates your organization, we'll reach out to the person they listed as the point of contact. We do this when the Regions program is about to launch. So it might not be right away. Some programs won't start for another month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It really does depend on when your region is going to be launching. But you don't have to wait to be nominated in order to participate. If you've got a decision-making authority, you can apply directly to participate. This is typically someone in HR or a senior leadership role. Again, you do not have to be nominated in order to participate in the program. Some of you actually may be speaking to me in the future. I do recruit new businesses and companies that haven't participated before. And as a reminder, each region has a specific number of employees to qualify. They may be as low as 35, but for some programs, they do require at least 50, or in Chicago's case, 100 employees to participate in the Top Workplaces program. And as we've been discussing with Chris, the Top Workplaces program is based solely on employee feedback and the results of the survey, which is administered by our organization, Workplace Dynamics, via your organization's company-issued email addresses. The survey is presented as an internal survey, not as a Top Workplaces survey, and we do this to avoid bias and pressure. In fact, our survey includes a pressure score. This helps us to keep answers honest and keep a level playing field for you guys.
So just to give you a little heads up, bribes like pizza parties, gift cards, and time off sometimes do set this pressure score off. So let's stay away from them for now.
Exactly. Our survey specialists work closely with you to get set up and your survey launch. We do have the ability to pick your launch date as long as it falls within the survey window. So you actually pick the day your survey goes out. Employees have 2 weeks from the day you launch to submit their responses back to our organization. And we do have an online portal called Survey Tracker. That's a virtual checklist to guide you through the entire process. It does everything from launching your survey to sending reminder emails to those employees who haven't taken the survey yet. And when your survey closes, you'll automatically receive a free summary report. It's a high-level snapshot that includes the following: the total number of surveyed responders, our organization's top and bottom scoring departments. I apologize, actually it's your organization's top and bottom scoring departments, not ours. The top and bottom scoring statements and the number of employee comments that we receive. Now to clarify, it's not the comments themselves, just the quantity that we receive. The best part about the Top Workplaces program is that all of this is free when you participate online.
And building off what Amber said, the only time that cost ever comes into play with the Top Workplaces program is if your organization wanted to invest in the full survey results. So as Amber mentioned, the free report is a high-level snapshot, but we also offer richer data, such as the employee comments, which are anonymous, of course, department breakdowns, industry benchmarks, and demographics, just to name a few, tenure and salary bands. Again, this is completely optional. It has zero impact on who ends up on the list of Top Workplaces and who does not, but it is an option that we do have available.
Exactly. And once the surveys are all completed and closed down, the next step is notification. And this happens after the region survey window has closed, and it's typically a month or so after. Your survey specialist will reach out to you by phone and email to give you the results. And some organizations make it the first time they participate and others don't. Some participate every year and don't get named. And again, the Top Workplaces list is based solely on employee feedback and the survey results. If your organizations win, we ask you to keep the good news a secret until the Top Workplaces supplement is published. Keep it a surprise until then, everyone. Those who did not win the award are kept completely confidential. It's important to not share with anyone. Only you and Workplace Dynamics will know that you actually participated in the program. That is not shared with any outside source, not even the publication. We do notify anyone. We don't notify anyone that you did participate. Excuse me. There is not a top workplaces list either. So we're not going to have a list of those who did not make it as a top workplace.
So ultimately, you know, there's no downside to participation. You know, there's zero chance of negative PR or anything like that.
Exactly. And after the supplement has been published, you can actually shout it from the mountaintops and celebrate with your employees. Our marketing team will provide you with the Top Workplaces logos and that guideline, and then you'll get a free online portal to www.topworkplaces.com. And you can use the Top Workplaces logo free on anything, any marketing material, websites, emails. The logo is yours if you are named the Top Workplace.
You earned it. We encourage you to use it.
So some of our top workplaces go all out to announce their awards. We've seen YouTube videos, billboards, cakes, shirts, tattoos, you name it. Also, the majority of the Top Workplaces programs have an event to celebrate and let you network. Now, some don't, but that doesn't mean you can't celebrate with your employees. After all, it's your employees who said your organization deserves this award.
And that's when it's time for the pizza party, everybody.
So that's Top Workplaces in a nutshell. We do want to leave some time to answer your questions, and I know we had a few come in already. Here we go.
All right, let me pull the first one for you, Amber. It comes from Katie.
Okay, let's see. How many organizations get named to the Top Workplaces list? Katie, that actually depends on the program that you're participating in. The survey list varies by region. Some publish a top 100, others can be a little smaller or a little larger. For instance, Charlotte published a top 50 list, I believe, last year, and our other program like Dallas Morning News, they do a top 150. You can look at the Top Workplaces website to see what they did last year, and that can kind of give you an idea of how big the list will actually be. Okay, let's see, and you want to take the next one?
Sure. Okay, Bob, you're on board with the next question here. What is included in the full results? That's a great question, Bob. And as I mentioned before, the free report is a high-level snapshot, so that's going to include your top and bottom scoring departments, questions on the survey, as well as the number of comments. But the data that we do have available in regards to the full results goes much deeper than that. As we mentioned, you have access to all of the comments your employees left, access to our benchmarking capabilities, department breakdowns, some of the demographics that we touched upon earlier. And to be honest with you, Bob, I think the coolest part is our online results tool. It's a very clean and easy to use online tool, very easy to use interface, and it really allows you to dig deeper into your data and see it in different views. In regards to this tool, we do offer free bi-weekly tutorials to show you how to use and navigate it, and it's great for new users or as a refresher course for those that need it and might not have been in there, too recently.
Okay, I'll take the next. I'm actually going to combine a few to kill two birds with one stone. Do all your employees have to respond to the survey, and what is a survey window? So to start, no, all your employees do not have to respond to the survey. We just have to make sure everyone in your region is given the opportunity to actually take the survey. To kind of get more technical, if you have under 85 employees, you need at least 30 responders in order to be in consideration for the Top Workplaces program. And if you have over 85 employees, you need a 35% response rate. And your response rate does not change the fact whether or not you're going to be named the Top Workplace. So you can have a 100% response rate and still not be named, and have a 35% response rate and be named the Top Workplace. Just a reminder, it's the quality, not the quantity of the responses. And the survey window, depending on the region, sometimes the window can be anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks that we have a program open, and you have a 2-week time frame from the day you choose to launch your survey to gather either those 30 responses or that 35% response rate.
And how much time do you have for algorithms? No, I'm joking, but on a serious note, if you wanted to go deeper than that, there are hundreds of algorithms that we run behind the scenes, and unless you're a data scientist, it's going to go right over your head, just like it does for mine, but there are a lot of things to play in there. So moving on to our next question here. Do we have to participate in the Top Workplaces program to do the Workplace Dynamics survey? I can answer that for you right here, and the answer shortly is no. We actually partner with a couple thousand of organizations across the United States to be their exclusive employee engagement survey provider. And they like to use a third party to keep this neutral outlook and keep anonymity there. And one of the benefits is year over year surveying with us. We can actually start looking at how your information is trending. What areas your organization made some steps in the right direction and increased, and maybe we took the wrong approach in one topic and we went back a step or two. We can definitely measure that through year over year surveying. And one thing I did want to throw into this is just, if you happen to be in a region that doesn't have a Top Workplaces program, or you're not into the recognition aspect of it, that is all fine too. We definitely partner with organizations outside of our regions for the Top Workplaces, and even further than that, organizations that have locations all over the world. I believe we have 23 languages currently, so chances are we can help you out.
Exactly. Let me see. So we have another question that came in. What happens if my employees don't have computer access? That's actually a great question, and it's not a problem. We do have paper surveys available, and just to let you know, you do have to pay for the processing and shipping of those surveys, and they're $1.75 per paper survey. And that does include the shipping to you, and each survey comes with a postage paid return envelope to preserve your employees' their anonymity. The employees take it, throw it in the envelope, and actually send it right back to us. And let's see.
One question that we just had coming in, do the questions differ from year to year? That's a great question, and as I mentioned, we actually did have an addition to our survey this year. There was the one question I mentioned that we've been testing since 2008. So they do change, however, a majority of the time they stay similar. We have our core questions that we have made up of our survey, and specifically that organizational health aspect. Many of those stay the same year over year, but there are minor changes.
Looks like we have a question. Program. So it looks like we have a question. I'm not too sure exactly if I'm wording this correctly, but a program that has a nomination deadline of February 24th. When is the survey sent? So the survey can be sent anytime before that date, or it's about a 1 week window that we have after that date that the survey can be sent out to your employees. As we stated, you will actually pick the day your survey goes out. So if you ended up telling us today that you wanted to participate and move forward with the process, we can set you up to have your survey out by the end of the month with the date of your choosing.
All right, and a question from Beth. We participated last year. Will we be automatically contacted this year? We do usually reach out to last year and prior year participants, considering they saw the value of the Top Workplaces program previously. However, sometimes that can be a lot of organizations to get in contact with there. So chances are, Beth, we will be in contact with you, just to let you know it's that time of year again, and we'd love to have you back. But if for some reason you don't hear from me or anyone else on my team, as Amber mentioned earlier, you can actually head on to topworkplaces.com and apply for your organization to participate in your region, and then that'll guarantee that one of us will be in contact with you to help you out and get you back on board this year.
Exactly. Here's another one. What do you do with our email addresses when the program is over? We get it. In this day and age, internet security is a top priority, but don't worry, we've got your back. To answer that question, we actually wipe our systems, and the only time your employees hear from us is during the surveying process. We don't send any type of advertising. We don't spam your emails. We don't sell your emails. They have to be used strictly for the survey to get it to and from your employees.
Alrighty, and I think getting close to our last question of the day here. Devin wants to know, my company has offices all across the United States. How would that work? Well, Devin, you're in luck. It's just as easy to survey in one region as it is to survey in, say, 10 regions, or even your entire company for that matter. Basically, how we keep everything set up and split is that we ask your employees to provide an area code. And that allows us to identify which top workplaces region to assign their response. As the different area codes come in, we can keep them. This one goes to Boston. This one goes to Houston. This one goes to the Bay Area out in San Francisco. So we'll take it all from there. It's extremely easy to do. We call it cross-region participation, and we do it a lot internally here. So Devin, we can definitely get everyone on board there.
Okay, we have another question. We completed a survey in October. Can we use these results for a Top Workplaces program? Unfortunately, if it wasn't administered by Workplace Dynamics, no, because we use our set statements to compare you to other participating organizations and keep it on a level playing field.
All righty.
All right, and I think that was everything.
All right, I think there are a few more questions here, and we will definitely wrap up and get in contact with everyone after we wrap up here with the additional questions to get some answers into your hands. But I think that's all that we have time for today.